How did taxes work in ancient Rome? Imagine you're living in the heart of Rome. You wake up to the bustling streets. Fresh bread fills the air. Merchants chatter in the marketplace. Rich Romans live luxuriously. But a hidden system keeps order. And that system is taxes. But how exactly did this work? In Rome, taxes were the backbone of the empire. Without them, there would be no huge projects, no armies to defend the borders, and no public baths for you. But, unlike today, taxes are deducted from your paycheck or included in the price of goods. The Roman tax system was more hands-on. First off, you should know that not everyone in Rome paid taxes. The rich and the wealthy, the senators, equestrians, and those of noble birth, often found ways around it. Instead, the burden fell on the lower classes, the small farmers, and the provincials. So, how did it work? Let's say you're a small farmer in one of the Roman provinces. You grow wheat, a staple in the Roman diet. Every year, when it's time to harvest, the local tax collector, known as a publicanus, shows up at your farm. He's not there to say hello. He's there to take a part of your crop, a part that isn't yours to keep. This is the anona, a tax in kind. Instead of paying money, you pay with what you produce. You load your wheat onto carts and send it to Rome. There, it will feed the citizens and the army. It may even become a loaf of bread in the emperor's palace. But it doesn't stop there. You might owe money, a percent of your land's value, or even labor. It's for building roads, aqueducts, or other projects. But here's the twist. The publicani weren't government officials. They were private contractors. Imagine if the IRS outsourced tax collection to private companies. They could keep a part of what they collected. These contractors often bid for the right to collect taxes in a particular region, and the highest bidder won. Once they had the contract, their goal was to collect as much as possible to make a profit. You might be wondering how the Romans controlled these tax collectors. The short answer is they didn't, at least not very well. This system led to widespread corruption and abuse. The publicani were notorious for squeezing every last coin from the provincials. They often took more than they were supposed to. If you couldn't pay, they might take your land or even sell you into slavery. It was a brutal system, and it bred resentment among those who had to endure it. And what if you were in the city? If you lived in Rome or one of the other large cities, you might not pay the anona, but you'd still face taxes. The vectigal, for example, was a tax on goods and services. You'd pay it when buying or selling goods in the market, or when using certain services. If you were a merchant, the tax could be steep, cutting into your profits and making life that much harder. So, why did people put up with it? The answer is simple. Taxes were the price of living in the Roman Empire. They funded the legions that kept the borders safe, the roads that connected the empire, and the grain that fed the people. Without taxes, Rome wouldn't be Rome. But that doesn't mean everyone was happy about it. Resentment simmered, especially in the provinces with the most weight, and sometimes it boiled over into rebellion. But as long as the empire stood, so did the tax system, relentless, unyielding, and essential. Just as Rome wasn't built in a day, it wasn't sustained by goodwill alone. Taxes kept the wheels of the empire turning, but they crushed many under the publicani's demands.